Hello, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video. Now today I'll be showing you how I make these delicious coconut sugar buns. So without further hesitation, let's jump straight into the video. Here I have some flour, I have some warm milk, I have some melted shortening, I have some salt and baking powder, I have some sugar, and I have some yeast. Now to my bowl, I'm going to go ahead and add my warm milk, and I'm going to add the sugar and the yeast. Give this a good mix. Set this aside to poof for about 10 minutes until it's nice and foamy. And of course, if you're using instant yeast, you could just go ahead and continue on with the rest of the procedure. Now that my yeast is nice and foamy, I'm going to go ahead and add my shortening. Of course, you could use melted butter. I'm going to add my baking powder and my salt. And here I'll be using bread flour, but all-purpose flour works fine too. And I'm going to go ahead and combine this into a dough. Now here the dough is going to be soft and sticky, and as I mentioned before, when you're working with yeasted dough or bread dough, you want to make sure that the dough is super soft. The softer the dough, moister the dough, or the wetter the dough, the softer your end product will be. So at this point, it's going to be a little bit sticky. You might be tempted to add some more flour. Just allow it to rest for about 10 minutes. There the gluten will start to develop, and then it will be more manageable, and then you could continue on with the rest of the step, but don't add any more flour at this point. Now I'm just going to go ahead and turn my dough on my mat, and I'm just going to work the dough for about 5 to 10 minutes. If you're using a stand mixer, you could skip this step and just whip on high for 5 to 6 minutes. But I feel like getting some therapy in today, so I'll be using my hands. Now I'm going to set the dough to rise for about 45 minutes to an hour. Depending on the temperature of your house, it could take up to an hour and a half. You just want to allow the dough to double in size. Now for my coconut mixture, here I have my coconut, and this is how I make it. I went ahead and removed the bark from the coconut, and then I grated this. Now this part is totally optional. You could use store-bought shredded coconut, but I have some fresh coconut at home, so I wanted to go ahead and use it, and I shredded it on this side so I could get this desired texture that I wanted for my coconut sugar buns. So to this I'm going to add some sugar. And for the spices, I have nutmeg, cinnamon, and salt. And I'm going to add some vanilla. You add the sugar to your liking. Of course, you could make this house sweet or less savory or less sweet, depending on what you're looking for. So I'm just going to combine this, set this aside, and allow it to sweat down a bit, because the sugar is going to sweat and start to create some nice juices in the coconut. Now that my dough is ready, I'm going to go ahead and roll this out. No, you don't want to roll this out too thin, because we're not making cinnamon rolls. We're making a sugar bun, and we want this to have nice thick rolls. But of course, you could roll this out to your desired shape and thinness or thickness that you like. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my coconut filling. Now you want to make sure that you get this into a even layer. You want to make sure that every part of the dough gets some of this coconut filling. Now it's going to time to roll. Now we're going to roll and tuck. You want to roll it tight enough but not too tight. So you want to roll and tuck so that the coconut doesn't seep through. So you want to roll and tuck until everything is completed. And also a full written recipe will be listed down in the description box, so you could go ahead and check it out. Now I'm going to go ahead and seal the edges. Now here is where you could cut it how thick or how thin you like. I like mine on the little thicker side because I want to make some big fat sugar buns. Now here I have a lined baking pan, or you could use whatever you have. So you just want to make sure that you just cut the dough and place it on the baking pan and give them some space because these will rise again for additional 30 minutes. So you want to cut and place and give it a little bit of space so it has space to rise. Now I'm going to go ahead and cover this with plastic wrap and allow it to proof for an additional 30 minutes. In this time I will be preheating my oven to 350 degrees. So that's the temperature I'll be baking these at, a 350 degree. Now these are ready to go in the oven. I'm just going to go ahead and add some more of the fresh coconut I had reserved. Now this part is totally optional, but it's not. So guys, this part enhance the texture of your coconut sugar bun. The coconut on top is gonna get nice and toasty and add so much flavor and texture to your coconut buns. Now I'm gonna place this in the oven. I'm gonna bake this for 30 to 35 minutes. After 30 minutes, this is what my sugar bun is looking like. And here I have a mixture of sugar and water, a simple syrup, 1 part sugar, 1 part water. I'm just going to go ahead and blush this on as a glaze to add some sheen to these coconut bun and a hint more sweetness. Now this part is totally optional, or if you want, you could use some honey and water. Whatever you want to add, you could go ahead and make sure you have a nice little glaze on top of these coconut sugar buns. Now my buns are ready, and at this point my house is smelling amazing. These buns were super soft, moist and full of flavor. We usually enjoy this with some good old Jamaican tasty cheese or processed cheese, whatever you want to call it. This is what we enjoy it with. And guys, if you have reached this far in the video and you have not yet subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscription button. Turn on the post notification bell that says all, so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, share it, leave me a comment down in the comment section telling me what you think about this recipe and if you would try it. And if you try this recipe, you could tag me on Instagram at Toya's Kitchen to let me see your creation. Until then, my beautiful people, I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Have a good day and bye.